Welcome to Code Jogging. In our last video, we looked at multiple parameters in C++. In this video, we are going to look at return values, in functions. As I said earlier, when you talk about a function must have a data type. But we have to also look at the point where whether we want the function to return a data or not. Because you can't declare a function like this. You have an error, but it needs to be have a data type. And I said we use a void here, which means that we are not going to return anything. But what if we want to perform let's say a calculation, but we want to use a function to do those calculations somewhere so that we can reuse those code in our project. So that's where we talk about the return values of a function. In case you've not subscribed to our channel, please kindly subscribe. So now let's look at the point where we can have a function with parameter and then it will also return a value. So for example, let's change this one to an integer function here. And then let's make it x. And then let's delete the rest of the function and let's empty everything. So let's use this one. Let's return an int, and it's waiting for us to return something. So it should return a statement, and default will return 0. So you can go ahead and then return 5 plus x. So in our code, where we call our function, we can call this 19. So let's execute our code. Then nothing shows because we are returning something here, but we are not displaying it. So we can go ahead and then attach our system cout to it. Now 19 plus 5, we get 24. So we can go ahead and then use end line. Let's change this one to 1, then execute it. Yes. So now let's look at a point where we might have multiple parameters here. So we can have int y here. Then we can go ahead and then perform this calculation. So we can have 2 here, and then we can multiply this one by 23. So let's go ahead and then execute our code. Yes. So we can go ahead and then reuse this function as many as we want and change the data here. So let's run our code again. So let's look at a point where instead of returning an integer here, we can return a boolean or a different data type. We can use any data type that we want. So let's use a bool here. So we are not going to return this, but let's use return if x is greater than y. So that's the boolean. So let's run our code. Then you have true, 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 and then we have 1 false because 1 is not greater than 23. So this is how you can use a function to return a value. So if you want to use a string, you can do the same thing. Or the boolean, we can also try to use to do a validation. More like maybe the user input, we want the user input to be greater than 10, or maybe it shouldn't be greater than 10, and then it will return true or false. We can use this function to perform the same action. Okay, so now I believe you can go ahead and then try with other data types that we have in C++. In case you have any question, please you can leave it at the comment section, and if you've not subscribed to our channel, please kindly subscribe to our channel. See you in our next video. Bye bye.